bilaterally, and we also introduced the visa exemptions, and all these steps contributed to the further strengthening of our relations. In order to render our economic relations much more balanced, we need to do more. And within this regard, we have taken some steps, and we will continue to do so in the foreseeable future in defense, in infrastructure, in commerce, and in tourism. We believe that there's a great potential for cooperation between the two nations. And also between Turkey and Jordan, there's cultural interaction, and we have student exchange programs as well. 50 Jordanian students were offered scholarship by Turkey, and as such, they have been able to come and study in Turkey. And TİKA, our development agency, has undertaken significant projects in Jordan, and hopefully we are going to continue these efforts in the upcoming period. Distinguished members of the press, with my brother King Abdullah, we have had the opportunity to discuss the current state of affairs in our region in detail. And of course, the most important item on our agenda today was the current developments in Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a holy city. It has a historic background, and that needs to be preserved. And on this issue, we share the same sentiments with Jordan. The Jordanian Hashemite kingdom is the custodian of the holy sites in Jerusalem, and we take this guardianship very seriously. Any step or any misstep regarding the sanctity of Jerusalem would cause a furor in the Islamic world, and it would undermine peace, and such missteps would also create new tensions and new chasms in our region. Jerusalem is a holy site for all Muslims. It is the apple of our eye, regardless of who it comes from. Any behavior that disrespects this fact would bring violence and would bring a lack of peace. For stability in the Middle East, the only way is to recognize the 1967 borders, and a Palestinian state's capital should be Eastern Jerusalem. And as the term president of the Islamic Cooperation Organization, we are going to organize an extraordinary summit, and with my dear brother, we have discussed that this summit needs to be held in Istanbul on the 13th of December in Istanbul. And one day prior to the Leaders' Summit, our ministers of foreign affairs will come together, and on Wednesday, a leaders' meeting is going to be held, and with the decisions that are to be taken there, the final declaration will be announced to the entire world. The world of Islam needs to get together in terms of preserving the sanctity of Jerusalem. We think that to be very important. The term president, the term chair of the Arab League is my brother, King Abdullah, and throughout this process we will continue to be in close cooperation. So I would like to call out to the entire world from here and say that Jerusalem is protected by UN resolutions as well. It has a legal status. Any steps that would challenge this status should be shy away from. No one has the right to play with the destiny of billions of people for personal gain, because such a move would only serve the purposes of terrorist organizations. Distinguished members of the press, with my dear brother, we had the opportunity to also discuss Syria and Iraq. And once again, we agreed that we attach great importance to territorial integrity of Syria and Iraq. And Jordan has the same concerns as we do. And regarding those millions of brothers and sisters who have had to flee Syria and Iraq are hosted by us and by Jordan. Currently, Turkey hosts 3 million people, and Jordan hosts more than 1 million Syrians in total. And in the upcoming period, we are going to continue to cooperate on these issues for the peace and prosperity and the stability of the region. We are going to further strengthen our ties, and I hope that the visit of my dear brother King Abdullah will serve our countries and our region as well. And I would like to once again say that it has been an honor for us to host him and his spouse. And I also would like to take this opportunity to send my regards to my Jordanian brothers and sisters. Shukran.
In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful.
This visit follows on the heels of your very successful visit to Jordan earlier this year and comes at a very timely moment. Not only are we here to discuss, obviously, our bilateral agreements and our future, which you have outlined so eloquently, but also with the challenges that we are facing in the region. Our meetings here are obviously built on a deep-rooted historical ties, and as you said, we're looking forward to welcoming the 70th year of our very historic relations and ties, and to expand our ongoing political, economic, and security cooperation. There is vast potential to increase trade and investment levels, and as was based on today's meetings, I'm really looking forward to our ministerial level delegates to be able to take us into a new phase of relationship between our two nations. Unfortunately, we come at a time to visit you here, sir, in your country. Today, more than ever before, we face regional developments that require close, coordinated and consultations between our two countries. And I am very happy to say not only the support that you, sir, have shown to Jordan in Jerusalem, but how closely we work together to overcome the tremendous challenges that we as an ummah and the region face. As we both agree, the Palestinian cause continues to be the region's central issue. There is no alternative to the two-state solution, and Jerusalem is key to any peace agreement, and it is key to the stability of the entire region. I did re-emphasize to the U.S. President yesterday our concerns on the decision to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. Therefore, it is imperative now to work fast to reach a final status solution and a peace agreement between Palestinians and Israelis. And this must allow Palestinians to establish their independent state side by side with Israel and its capital in East Jerusalem. Now, ignoring the Palestinian Muslim and Christian rights in Jerusalem will only fuel further extremism and undermine the war against terrorism. And we in Jordan, as the custodian of Islamic and Christian holy sites, we will persist in undertaking our religious and historical responsibilities towards Al-Aqsa Mosque and Al-Haram al-Sharif, and uphold our role in protecting Muslim and Christian holy sites in Jerusalem. And again, I want to thank the President for his support. As the President has mentioned, we are both in full agreement on the need for holding an OIC summit on Jerusalem next week that will bring together Arabs and Muslim leaders. Briefly, sir, you talked about other regional challenges, and I'll just mention here Syria. Efforts at this stage should be directed in building on the Astana talks to realize a political solution according to the Geneva process and ensuring Syria's unity, stability, and safety for its people. Mr. President, this is probably one of the strongest visits that we have had between our two countries as we stand shoulder to shoulder to face the challenges that lie ahead, and I look forward very much to being with you again in Istanbul next week. So, thank you very much.